Hey y'all, my name is Skyler Martin. I am a 21-year-old transgender woman. My pronouns are she, her, hers, and I want to be a writer. At least that's one of the things I hopefully want to do professionally. I am studying English at Northern Arizona University up in Flagstaff. I am also minoring in film and Spanish as well, if you're curious. Today, right now, I'm going to be reading one of my original poems, Queer or Mirror, as well as reading a poem by a transgender author that inspired me quite a bit after I read my original work. So without further ado, let's get into my first piece, Queer Mirror. I grew up in a town both tiny and tall. 'Twas the way it felt to me, as a small girl masked by a masculine shawl, so thick I could hardly breathe. I was hardly the first to notice this, no. Fellow kids began to query. How could a young boy behave like so, in a manner so different and queerly? No sticks and stones were thrown my way. Their words were decidedly worse. I was a faggot, girly, a freak on display. Two things, I was taught, were a curse. Each lunch I would eat in the bathroom and cry about what they had said. I would be enveloped in a blanket of gloom. A cracked mirror was my only cruel friend. I would think, mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the fairest of them all? Certainly not me. I'm ugly, you see. 'Twas my estimation. Do you disagree? The mirror showed that I was cracked, best kept handsome under my shawl. Looking back now, I see a grave error, falling many an hour in retrospect. Much interpretation was born of terror. The truth remained unchecked. I now say, queer mirror on the wall, you are the least cruel friend of all. The cracks you showed were not of me, but in the societal images I was forced to be. Fairest of them all, I'm glad you called. I'm transgender, and finally free. So that was my original piece, Queer Mirror. Next, I will be reading a very short poem by a transgender female author called J. Jennifer Espinoza. And it's called My First Love, and it really speaks to something that I would say a lot of transgender people experience in some way or another. I think when you hear it, you will agree. So without further ado, My First Love by J. Jennifer Espinoza. My first love was silence. I built myself from scratch and no one listened. This was the best time of my life. I used to carry the clothes to the laundry room and pray for all the fog in the world to surround me. I'd let my thoughts catch rides with passing airplanes. All that womanhood caught in the roof of my mouth was like honey. I knew it would never go bad, so I never said a word about it. And that was My First Love by Joshua Jennifer Espinoza. I hope y'all are well in this time of COVID and of protesting for rights that all of us should already have. I thank you all for listening. Catch y'all later.